He died twice. Twist. The boyfriend faked everything. She attends her boyfriend's funeral after a tragic accident. 2 weeks later, she sees him on the street with another woman. She follows him. He faked his death to escape the relationship and start a new life. She smiles. That's okay. I planned your second funeral too. Lena stood in the crowded church, her eyes fixed on the casket of her boyfriend, Jack. She remembered the accident vividly. The sound of screeching tires, the crunch of metal, and the feeling of helplessness as she watched him being rushed away on a stretcher. The doctor's words echoed in her mind. I'm sorry. There was nothing we could do. As the eulogies began, Lena felt a lump form in her throat, and she couldn't help but think about how much she'd miss Jack. She remembered the way he'd make her laugh, the way he'd hold her hand, and the way he'd always be there for her. The funeral ended with a final farewell, and Lena watched as Jack's casket was lowered into the ground. She threw her bouquet of flowers in after it, tears streaming down her face. 2 weeks passed, and Lena was just beginning to feel like herself again. She started to see friends, went back to her normal routine, and even started to reconnect with her family. But then, one day, on her way home from work, she saw him. Jack was walking down the street, hand in hand with another woman. She felt a jolt of shock and anger. How could he? She followed him from a distance, trying to keep up without being noticed. As they walked into a small cafe, Lena took a seat across the street, keeping watch. She watched as Jack and the woman laughed and sipped their coffee. It didn't take her long to realize what had happened. Jack had faked his own death. Lena couldn't believe it. All the tears, the pain, the guilt, it had all been for nothing. She felt a mix of emotions, anger, sadness, and most of all, confusion. But as she sat there watching Jack, something strange happened. A smile crept onto her face. She felt a sense of satisfaction and liberation. Jack might have thought he'd escaped, but he was wrong. She pulled out her phone and dialed a number, her heart pounding in anticipation. Hi, it's me, she said to the person on the other end. I know you've been wondering what the plan is. Well, I've got news for you. We've been planning a second funeral just for Jack. On the other end of the line, she could almost hear the excitement and satisfaction in the person's voice. Oh, I love it, they said. When does it start? Lena grinned, feeling a sense of closure and victory. How about tomorrow? She replied. And we're going to make sure it's one he'll never forget. As she hung up the phone, Lena felt a sense of peace wash over her. She might have lost Jack, but she'd found something far better. A new beginning, a chance to start over, and a partner in crime who shared her sense of humor. The woman walked out of the cafe, hand in hand with Jack. Lena watched as they disappeared into the crowded streets. She smiled, knowing that their next meeting would be a little sooner than they thought. And when it was, it would be one that neither of them would ever forget.